I've watched Die Hard 5.0.
5 point. Yeah, the names got ridiculous. Was one of them called Die Even Harder?
I think that's a porno you've been watching. And if it is a porno, I'm going to be very impressed.
If it is, that's getting cut out of. Hello and welcome back to week 2 of Two Sheep and a Pool's Christmas month. My name's Ben.
And my name's James.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah?
More Christmas specials.
You've upgraded, I didn't mention it last week, but you were wearing a Christmas jumper last week.
I was.
That was, do you want to describe what it was?
Yeah, so seeing as we had the least Christmassy Christmas film, I thought
Although it was definitely a valid Christmas film.
Yeah, well, and I thought I'd then go for the least Christmassy Christmas jumper that I owned.
That's the least Christmassy you've got?
Not this one, the one last week.
The last one, okay.
Yeah, the one last week, which was, it just says Tesco Everyday Value Christmas jumper on it.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
It tickled me.
Whereas this week, what am I wearing, Ben?
A big old Christmas pudding with some bobbly bobbles on it.
Some bobbly bobbles, yeah. So each week I'm going to be wearing a different Christmas jumper for you to enjoy.
Are you feeling more Christmassy now?
Yeah. They're playing Christmas songs at work now.
Nice.
It's going all right.
I'm playing Christmas songs at my work now as well.
Nice. Have you got a favourite one that you like to sing?
Yeah, I think my favourite Christmas... Have we done favourite Christmas songs?
I don't think so.
Should we do favourite Christmas songs? Well, my favourite one is Driving Home for Christmas. We've spoke about this because I remember I said Driving Home for Christmas.
Yes. Have we spoke about this on the podcast?
Oh, maybe it was just in life. I don't know the difference anymore. Well, my favourite is Driving Home for Christmas by Chris Ray or Rare.
Yes.
Something like that.
That person.
That one.
Yeah, mine's I've got Nightmare Before Christmas. It's not that.
That classic song.
By the Pogues.
Fairy Tale in New York.
Fairy Tale in New York.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah.
Same thing, isn't it?
It's basically the same thing. The Pogues.
Basically a nightmare. No, I like the Pogues. I like the Pogues.
Yeah. Gosh. Do you know how the woman that sings in that?
Yeah.
Do you know how she died?
Yeah, it's really horrible.
Yeah. She got run over by a boat, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
She was pushing her two sons out of the way.
I was going to say that was the worst thing was her sons were, not the worst thing, one of the awful things were her sons were with her when it happened.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame.
Well, that took a sad turn.
Yeah, sorry about that. Merry Christmas!
Should we go into news?
Well, I've got a complaint for you, Ben.
Oh, go on, let's go. Let's go complain then.
Another themed Christmas complaint.
A Christmas complaint.
Yeah.
Hang on, about Christmas again.
Yep.
I thought I expected one because you said you love Christmas, but there's a couple of things you can. I suppose a couple is that brings us to this week.
My complaint this week is Christmas crackers.
Okay,
they're just a bit.
What's your
shit.
umbrage with crackers?
There are never any good prizes within them. They're all terrible stuff that you play with for a second and you're like, we'll never use that again.
You've just been buying cheap crackers.
Well, I don't want to spend too much on a cracker. Do you know what I mean?
Then you get a good gift.
No, you do. Tell me one thing that you have got from a Christmas cracker that you still use now.
All right, you got me there.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're always have you seen the one that's it's basically like a plastic fish and you put it on your hand and it just curls up?
Yeah, I have.
And how it curls is
received one of them from a cracker.
Oh God, what's that? That's just a bit of plastic.
There's two things that you cannot argue against. You're having Christmas dinner,
right,
or whatever occasion you're doing your crackers.
Yeah.
You get the Christmas hat. Mm-hmm. It's not Christmas without the Christmas hat.
Okay, they're just party hats, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
A Christmas hat's Father Christmas, like an elf,
well,
pudding.
All right, party hat, but it's come from a cracker.
Yeah, I do enjoy. The hat is the only redeeming factor of the Christmas.
So
cracker.
what you're saying though is you'd rather have a hat placed on the table for each person than have to open it from a cracker.
But the thing is, we wear especially in my family. I'm the only one that keeps it on. They wear it for 5 minutes, and it's no, that's off.
No, you've always got a couple that take it off, but you've got to commit to it.
I like them. Yeah. I like the hats, but then the presents, and then I think the jokes.
That's the other thing I was going to say.
You can't say they're good.
No, they're awful, but that's why it's great.
And that's okay. They're good when you're a child because it's they're good child-friendly jokes.
Yeah.
But then they're the same child-friendly jokes for the past 20 years.
And that's why they're hilarious.
There's no evolution in the jokes of Christmas crackers. Do you know what I mean?
I do get you, but I completely disagree.
Mm-hmm. Do you enjoy the pulling of the cracker?
I enjoy everything about them.
I feel like they just give the illusion of skill.
Because if you just hold slightly further up, you're the one who's going to
Yeah,
get the cracker.
Yeah,
but then you have to give it back to the other person because everyone's got one cracker. And,
Yeah.
They're great.
Disagree.
No, you're just grumpy.
I am,
You
but I just think they're a bit shit.
Well, I think you're a bit shit.
Yeah, we'll do one on the podcast, and then whoever wins can be correct.
Wins a cracker. Okay. I just realised we got hang on.
Ben's just gone. He's just wandering around.
I wanted to make a... Oh, it doesn't stand up either.
Oh, no.
There we go.
So Ben's just rummaged around in a box and pulled out this massive star that would be going on top of a Christmas tree.
But we've not got the Christmas tree yet, and I wanted to make recording a bit more Christmassy.
Oh, it's
so
beautiful.
I'm putting the star on the
Beautiful.
table.
What about the Christmas tree in the corner?
Well, I've attempted to make the place a bit more Christmassy.
So Ben has got like a tropical plant-looking thing.
Called... Do you not know the name of our plant?
Dave?
Nope. Definitely not Dave.
Is it a male or a female name?
It's female.
Petunia.
Nope. She's called Pamela Planterson.
I'm done. That's it. I'm done. Okay, yeah, because it's like a palm kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And basically you just wrapped it in tinsel.
Yeah.
I say wrapped. You've put one piece of tinsel on it.
And there's another bit of tinsel.
Oh, just hanging off the bookcase.
On the bookcase. Uh-huh.
Oh, it's beautiful, man.
And now?
And now the star. Now I'm feeling really Christmassy.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, is that all you got to complain about Christmas?
For this week.
For this week. Have you got another one?
I might.
Oh, okay.
Let's save it for next week.
Right. Well,
right.
News Bleat.
News Bleat, yes.
News Bleat. Right then. I don't think you've got your fake news or not, but you've got no news?
Nothing really.
All right. Well, I've been trying to cut down on my movie news that I've been bringing every week. However, this week has been very exciting.
It has.
It has. You've already got me once with what I've been waiting for this week.
Yes.
Do you want to say what you did?
I do. So, obviously, the Avengers trailer's dropped this week, and it's been kind of coming quite late. People have been expecting it for a little while, and I got Ben good. Because
did.
I messaged him, have you seen this? And do you want to explain how it came through?
Yeah, well, I had my phone out already, so I saw, have you seen this? And I immediately, because you knew I was waiting, I thought, oh my God, it's the Avengers trailer. Mm-hmm. And then another text came through from you, and it said, Avengers trailer.
Yep.
And then there was a link. So I clicked on it, and it took me to a picture of a trailer that you'd put on the back of a car with Avengers across the side.
Perfect.
And my emotions went through. I fell apart.
Got him good. Because it was an Avengers trailer.
Yeah. Well, you panicked because you were trying to get me, which you did.
I did.
But you accidentally sent it as an image link, but I clicked on the link so fast the image didn't load. So you still tricked me.
Still set you up, yeah.
But the actual trailer did drop this week.
Yes.
And we won't go into like a full breakdown of the trailer,
No.
but it looks amazing, and it became the most watched trailer within a 24-hour period of all time.
Wow.
Do you know how many times it was watched in 24 hours?
I reckon at least 2.
At least 2 times.
Yes, because I've watched it twice.
I can confirm it was more than 2.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Good.
So 289 million views in 24 hours.
That's crazy.
Which means it just topped the... They had the record for the most watched previously as well, with the last Avengers, which was 230. And Lion King looked like it was going to overtake it, but that stopped at 224 million.
Oh, okay. I quite like the name Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a good name, and it sets up the film well.
It kind of slipped over my head when the actual trailer came out for Endgame, because I've been reading all the rumours for the past year about it anyway, and Endgame's one that's floated around quite a lot.
Okay.
So I was just scrolling through Facebook before going to a gig and saw an article talking about one of the characters' costumes in Avengers Endgame.
Right.
And it didn't even click because that name was already in my head, so I was just reading through this article and then realised it was referencing a trailer like 5 or 6 times. And I was like, I've missed the trailer. It's been out and I've not even watched it.
You missed the drop.
I missed the drop.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, without spending too much time on that, the hype is getting real.
Yes, we'll probably do an Avengers episode, I imagine.
Yeah, I think we need a little break from franchises.
Oh, yeah.
After we dedicated our whole life to Rocky
Yeah,
last week.
Those 2 days are just Rocky filled, and I do not want to watch those films anytime soon.
Maybe we should try doing, because there's so many Marvel films now, if we did 2 a month.
Okay.
leading up to it. So we're not having to dedicate
Yeah. Maybe I'll just watch the Avengers ones.
okay.
What else do you need?
all of them. I'm definitely going to watch all of them again. I did it last year and I'm going to do it again.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Anyway, I've got one other news story.
Yep.
So I imagine everyone is familiar with YouTube.
What is that again, Ben?
YouTube. It's a very small independent website.
Okay.
Where people put videos up. Don't know if you've heard of the concept.
Cool.
yet.
That's cool.
Every year, YouTube do this thing towards the end of the year called YouTube Rewind,
Right, yeah.
where they put together a compilation video of all of the things that have been popular through the year,
Yeah,
and they try and link it to YouTube.
yeah, mostly the creators, isn't it? Stuff like that.
That's
yeah.
the idea. The ironic thing this year is it has become the fastest disliked video on YouTube ever, and is already at the second most disliked video of all time, and it only went up this week.
Wow.
I think a lot of people are a bit jaded with YouTube. Like you just said, it's supposed to be linked to the creators of YouTube.
Yeah.
And they've kind of just gone in the face of that. It feels a lot more... I think people are thinking it's geared a lot more towards corporations and advertising. They feel like they've sold out a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've watched the video.
I have watched it, yeah.
I'd kind of agree. It's the cringiest thing I've
it's
seen
so
in a
cringy,
while.
yeah.
I think a lot of people are annoyed as well that the really big YouTubers like PewDiePie, the most subscribed, they've not included him. There's a lot of controversy there. But do you know how many dislikes it's sitting at now?
I think when I last looked, it was like 2 million.
It's a lot more than that now.
Or maybe it's
I'm
20
just going to
million.
get the video up just to make sure I'm
Live count.
live count. I love that they're still advertising it.
Really?
I've just gone on YouTube and it said YouTube Rewind with an ad logo in the top. All right, okay. It is Jesus Christ. It's disliked 7,037,562 times.
Wow.
And it's been liked just under 2 million, so that's quite
Okay. Do you know what is the number one most disliked video of all
I
time?
do. Do you know?
I don't. Or maybe I do. I probably do know it.
Have a guess.
I don't even know where to go. EA related or some gaming, something like that? No? Don't know, some Trump thing? No, I don't know.
So the most disliked is Baby by Justin Bieber.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, right.
It's just coming up to 10 million dislikes.
It's all right though, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it was one of those things, it was cooler to hate it than to like it when it came out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's the most disliked anyway. But I just thought that was the most ironic thing, that YouTube's celebration of YouTube has become pretty much the most disliked thing on YouTube.
I feel bad for them.
I do and I don't, because maybe it will...
No, I feel bad for like the creators in it.
Yes,
because they've obviously
they've
been
not done anything, no. But I think I'm not really familiar with them. They got Will Smith to open it, who isn't a YouTuber really.
Well, he's a film star, but then he has like a YouTube channel. He has
it,
YouTube
but
stuff.
I think that people are annoyed that they've not favoured popular YouTube creators first.
Right.
They've gone for celebrities from other areas.
Yeah, because they've got a lot of.
I mean, I'm not
late
really
TV
as fussed
shows
about
and-
that, but I can see why it's being spoken about. And then there was a guy called Ninja, who's apparently a Twitch streamer, not a YouTuber.
You don't know Ninja?
No, I know of him in a vague sense, but
Yeah.
I've never watched him.
Yeah, it's because Fortnite was so big, and he's basically the biggest Fortnite streamer. But also, he has a YouTube channel. So because he's so big on Twitch, then he's also big on YouTube as well, because popularity increases popularity.
Yeah, well, I thought that was kind of
Yes, good.
amusing.
It's
But
good.
I think that's my news.
Yes.
News for the week.
Should we go into fake news or not?
Fake news or not? Do you want to explain for... Oh, let's give a shout out as well. I think we've got a few new listeners by the looks of things this week. So, welcome.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
You're great.
But yeah, let's talk about this.
So fake news or not. So I'm going to give you two headlines that are either made up by me or are ridiculous, silly, real headlines, and you've got to work them out and see if they're fake news or they're not.
And as we know, I have an impeccable track record for winning this game. So,
Yeah.
right, hit me.
Okay, so our first one is a Florida man was arrested for riding a pogo stick down a highway.
Okay. It's Florida, so it's a bit more believable.
And the other one is man arrested after hitting a restaurant server when his mayo request was denied.
When his what?
Mayo request, as in mayonnaise.
I thought you said mayor. I thought, is he the mayor of a town, or is he requesting the restaurant make him the mayor of the
Yes,
town?
please make me a mayor. And he says no, and they just slapped him.
Right, okay. So, pogo stick, mayor, okay. Have you got any more details on these? If we go back to that Pogo story.
So basically, when he was arrested, his reasoning was he still had to get to work, but he'd been caught drunk driving, and so his license had been suspended.
And Pogo stick is by far quicker than walking, obviously.
I think that was his assumption, yes.
Okay, right. And then second?
I think it was basically he's in a restaurant and wanted some mayo. I think he had maybe too much mayo already.
Right.
Or he maybe had to pay for it and he got slapped in the face.
That always annoys me when you ask, can I have some ketchup, can I have some barbecue? And they say, yeah, that'll be 50 pence though.
Yeah.
It's not great.
It's not.
I don't think I'd punch someone over it.
You never know.
But
feel like you're a mayo addict.
Yeah, I do like mayo quite a lot.
I've seen you dunk my tasty pizza in mayo.
Yeah. I think people seem to take issue because one of the only things I'm not really a fan of is gravy. So if we're having Sunday dinner type thing and I put mayo on the plate, people get very upset about that.
Instead of gravy. It's because you're too far south, that's what it is.
Too far south, but not far enough north to be a northerner either.
True. No one likes you.
No one likes me. Right then, I'm going...
Mayo slap or Pogo Man?
I'm saying Pogo Man's true, Mayo Man is false. Not fake. Fake.
It's fake. I'm afraid you are wrong in both cases. The Pogo Man is made up by me, and the mayo slap is true.
God damn it. Who punches someone over mayo?
Yeah, true. I don't know.
Although, from last week, who threatens to stab someone over a fart?
It's true.
What is this world?
I know. God, I've been sitting on that Pogo one for a while.
Have you?
Yeah, I've thought about that one. I was like, this is gonna be a good one.
I thought that one. I was kind of going off your body language for that one.
Okay.
When you read the second story, you were kind of looking up into the air like you were spouting it off.
Okay.
But it got me.
The double jeopardy.
Was that a purpose mislead?
It wasn't really, no.
Well, you got me with it.
I got you. You're gonna start
I'm
closing
be
your
looking
eyes.
out now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look away. I'll turn around. Oh, I'll have to bring the mic round with me then.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, another win for you.
Yes.
Right, should we go on to the main topic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
So we've decided to watch another film. They're all going to be film episodes. This one's more Christmassy than the last one.
Only slightly. I mean, the last one was very Christmassy.
It was very Christmassy. Rocky IV was definitely set on Christmas Day. So you can't get much more Christmassy than that.
No. So we're now into week 2 of our Christmas month.
Yes.
And what have we done?
We've watched Die Hard.
Yep.
Which has actually, I don't know if you've seen, there's a bit of controversy about whether Die Hard is a Christmas film or not.
All right, let's talk about that then.
Yeah.
Is this a Christmas film?
I mean, when you compare it to Rocky IV, then yes, for sure. But when you compare it to, I don't know, Nativity or something that's basically based around Christmas.
Yeah.
Because this could be set on any other day and the film would probably be just as good.
I don't think that's true.
Okay.
I will fully accept Rocky franchise is not a Christmas
No.
franchise in any shape or form. This, I think, is a Christmas film.
Yeah.
Right. My main point for this, if we didn't have this set on Christmas Eve,
Right.
yeah, we would not be gifted with the line, now I have a machine gun, ho, ho, ho.
True. True. And I guess I think it does work for the plot as well because the rest of the building is empty because it is
Christmas Eve. So there's only a small group in one small area. I think that it works. The plot is reliant enough on the fact that it's Christmas and they include it enough.
Yeah.
That this is a Christmas film.
Yeah. I do like the flavour around having it at Christmas because then it's just you see little references to it. And
there was, I thought at some point it was meant to be he had done it, but someone else must have done it. Merry Christmas was just spray painted up a wall in one of the workshops.
I'm sure it just says Merry Chris. It doesn't get all the way.
I assumed I'd missed it. Did they just stop?
No, yeah.
It definitely said Merry Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finish.
No, I think this is a Christmas film.
Yeah,
I would actually argue for that, not just for the sake of it.
Yes, I agree. It's just it doesn't go in the theme of many Christmas films, which is happy and lovey, and it does have a love aspect to it.
And they work it into the soundtrack as well. We get some Christmas kind of hints throughout, and then some Christmas songs in places.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would agree. But if you disagree, you got to tell us why.
And you're wrong, but you can disagree all you want. So, like the Rocky films,
Yes.
you hadn't watched this before.
I've like caught bits on TV and like saw clips of it, but I'd never properly sat down and watched the
Not
whole
the
thing.
start,
Yeah, start
finish.
to finish. Yeah.
And watching at Christmas time, I think, is
Yes.
essential.
Essential.
So, because this isn't a franchise and we're not going to be ranking them, what
No.
did you think of this? What would you give it out of 5 bars?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I'd give it 4 bars out of 5.
4 bars.
Yeah.
That's solid. I think I'd probably go 4 as well. If I had given it a rating before watching it again, I think nostalgia, I'd have given it 5.
Okay.
But watching it again, it's probably a 4. I think five's too far.
Yeah, it's not a perfect film.
It's not perfect.
It is good.
But it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is one of those late 80s films that's just full of quotes.
Yes,
It's a very quotable
quotable
film.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay,
motherfucker.
Yeah, when that happened, it just makes me happy every time.
I thought, like, from, kind of seeing the film through osmosis of everybody else, that line is obviously very popular.
Yeah.
I thought it was said, like, more than just once. I mean, and it's said twice in the film.
Yeah.
Only once by Mr. Willis.
I think it was done in a very downplayed moment. Even in my head, if I was picturing it, he had like machine guns firing it and he was like screaming it from a rooftop. But he kind of he's walking backwards out of a doorway and just goes, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker."
Yeah, is like when he's dropping the C4 and is that when he does it? I thought so, when he's dropping it into the elevator.
We've literally just watched this 10
know,
minutes
that's what
ago.
I think
I feel
it
like
is.
we should remember.
Yes.
But
Yeah, I think it's when he drops the explosives on a chair on below a computer monitor down the elevator shaft. Can we just talk for a moment about how big that explosion was from like one piece of C4?
It was one piece of C4, but he dropped it in a room that was full of more explosives, didn't he?
But it was only where the RPG was, like the...
Yeah, I mean, they'd already fired 2 of those rockets.
Yes.
So at most there was another 2.
Well, they only had 4, and they'd like left one behind. I think they fired 2 when they went back to get another one.
I don't really know why I'm trying to defend the explosion.
No.
It was very excessive.
Yeah,
for
it
the
was
size
crazy
of it.
big.
Yeah,
It was bigger than the explosion at the end of the film, where they'd layered like nearly 100 bits of C4 for the roof.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Like, they blew
And
out a
also
whole
that,
floor.
That didn't seem to have... For the size of the explosion, visually,
Yeah.
it didn't affect the building when I feel it definitely should have done.
Yeah, so
That's enough to level a building.
Yes. And did you notice how the sprinklers came on for the second explosion? But that
not
first
for
one
that
was just like,
massive one.
nah, nobody cares about that one.
Yeah. You make some good points.
Yes. But I think they probably spent a lot of the budget on explosives in this film,
Yeah, I think they might have done.
which is good. I enjoyed
I've just
them.
realised before we're going into plot now, for
Yes.
anyone who might not have seen the films, tell us the story, James.
Okay. John McClane, sorry.
Is McCain's the chips?
That's McCoy's.
No, McCoy's are crisps. I'm sure McCain's are chips.
Oh, McCain's.
Like oven chips.
Oven
McCain's oven chips. Hang on, I'm going to Google this.
Yeah, I think you're right. I thought you were just wrong about the crisps.
I can confirm that McCain's make chips.
Sponsor us.
One of these weeks,
One of
someone's
these
going
weeks.
to do it.
Yeah, someone from McCain's going to listen to this. Yeah, we'll sponsor those. No. He is a New York cop.
He is.
And he's come back to see his family. No, his family had moved out to LA.
Yeah.
And he has flown over from New York to meet them. He ended up at his wife's party.
Can you confirm something for me?
Okay.
Because I was making some toast at the beginning and I think I missed this.
Right.
Is he separated from his wife or are they still married but just kind of separated?
They're married but separated. So the divorce has not gone through, but they were kind of
That's
like
the
on the
part.
rocks. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I thought
yeah,
it
yeah.
was, but because I missed, I feel, an essential 30 seconds at the beginning, I wasn't completely sold. Okay,
Yeah.
Continue.
And then he gets there, meets up with his wife. They kind of have a little bit of a tender moment.
Yeah.
And they go off to a bathroom, and then some terrorists come in, shoot up the place, and have the idea of stealing the money that's within this business.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the film is kind of John McClane fighting against a terrorist, shouting "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!" Lots of explosions, and the
just-
good guys win in the end.
Yeah, just generally being a good Christmas film. Right, let's talk about the emergency services in this film are utterly useless.
Oh yeah,
when he goes to the roof because he's trapped and he's the only person that's not been taken hostage because they don't know he's there. So he's trying to tell the police that there's terrorists in the building, send help.
Yeah.
So he gets to the roof and he has a radio and he gets through to the room that are they look like the switchboard for the police.
Yeah, dispatch
line. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he literally says, there are terrorists in this building, send help. Mm-hmm. And they go, sorry, this line is reserved for emergencies only. Could you get off this line, please?
Yeah.
Who does that?
To be fair, he does say, I'm not ordering fucking pizza.
that was afterwards.
Yeah,
And you can understand his exasperation at that point. Why would they not buy that? At least a little bit.
Yeah.
Because then as he's arguing that he is telling the truth and there's terrorists in the building, there's literal machine gun shots in the background, and then the line goes dead, and all they do is go, see if there's a car around, just give it a drive-by.
Send Al.
So then Al, the hero of our story, other than McCain Chipman.
Yeah.
So he drives up to the building, has a little search round, and the guy on the desk, who is a bad guy, kind of acts through it.
Yeah.
And Al leaves again.
Mm-hmm.
When he leaves, a body is then thrown out of the window onto his car by John McClane.
Yep.
And I think finally something clicks that something might be up.
Yeah, and he starts getting shot at.
But then, even when the rest of the police turn up and Al is saying, the body was dropped on my car, there was gunshots, all that the guy has to say in response to that was, it's probably some stockbroker who got depressed.
Yeah.
Why is no one clicking on the fact that there are terrorists in the building and a dead guy was literally thrown out the window and his car was shot at, and all he says is that?
Yeah, no, I feel like they did that on purpose just to make us dislike that guy, and that Al comes across as the good guy, trying to make everybody believable.
I mean, it did that, but he just came across as a really dumb guy.
Yeah, everything's just so dumb about it, isn't it? And then the FBI turn up, and they're really dumb as well. And play into their hands.
Was it the Johnson Bros?
Yeah, the Johnsons.
I'm Agent Johnson, and this is Special Agent Johnson.
And we're not related. Yeah, and we can tell that because one's black and one's white. Yeah, it's great.
God. Then who's the Argyle as well, the driver?
Oh, yeah.
Who ended up getting trapped in the car park underneath. And how many explosions and gunshots did he manage to not hear while he was in the car?
Oh, yeah. He's just playing loud music. Every time it cuts to him, he's just playing loud music and talking to some girl on the phone.
Oblivious to the whole thing. But I think he delivered probably the most satisfying punch in the whole film.
Yeah, because it's the only one that looked like it hit. This is another case of the 80s where it's like with a Rocky film where no one looks like they're punching each other in a boxing film. And this one, it looked like wrestling style WWE style punching, just a little bit ridiculous. But his actually looked like it connected. It was quite funny.
In the same vein, in the Rocky films, they deliver maybe 200 punches in one fight that would kill a normal person.
Yeah.
The stamina that these people have. There was a guy that literally got punched in the head maybe 20, 30 times, got his head smashed off a metal bar, and then was literally hung up by a chain for 20 minutes?
20 minutes, yeah, he's just chilling.
To around his neck. He wasn't hanging by his hands.
No.
And then at the very end of the film, they make it out of the building and they're getting looked after and everyone's like, okay, it's all over. This guy who should be dead long ago, still just walks out the building with a gun, ready to kill everyone.
That really shocked me. I was like, I get it was a shock factor. That was the point, but it was just silly because he was definitely dead. And it showed him like multiple times, like when all the hostages were leaving, the camera shot was from behind him, and it's not like his legs were twitching. He was fighting to get out, or like you saw him drop down, or do you know what I mean? If that shot had been there and he'd been missing, you'd been like, oh, it's kind of foreshadowing.
But no, they showed him dead.
Yeah, they showed him like definitely hanging dead there, and then it was like, oh, he's actually alive.
I think he's the real hero of this.
Yeah,
just for getting through that whole deal.
Little superhero that can't die.
Oh dear.
Okay, can we talk about Alan Rickman?
Alan Rickman. That was going to be my next point.
Alan Rickman is so good in this film.
Alan Rickman is good in everything.
Yeah, he's amazing in this.
He is.
His like slight German accent, I think, is really good.
Yeah.
His evilness is like shown from the beginning, and just like the way that he looks and his face, it just portrays almost like
his
pure
voice.
evil.
His voice is so perfect for this kind of cold, no empathy killer who just doesn't have any regard for everyone.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. And I think, I've not researched this, but I think this was his first big role.
Really?
Yeah, I think this is kind of what launched his whole career after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like he kind of had an anticlimactic death scene.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, apart from... Yeah, so he got, like, shot, and he was dangling out the window.
Yeah.
Holding onto this Rolex that was mentioned right at the beginning of the film. And then he gets, like, thrown off. I think that's quite good, though. I wish it was more like John had just, like, thrown him off, rather than he was, like, dangling
Yeah,
and
he was
released.
just kind of hanging for quite a long time. And then he died from a watch strap being taken off.
Yeah.
And I wanted another one-liner from him. The film was full of them, but he died silently. And I feel like Alan Rickman should have had another...
No, his final note was from like a bassoon or something, and it was like, it's like falls to the ground. It's like, wah, wah, wah. It's not actually like that, but it's like two notes from like this bassy instrument. I'm like, oh, that's kind of out of place.
I think my only criticism of him in his role was the scene where John McClane finds him, but because they've not seen each other, they don't know what they look like. And he pretends to be a hostage. Yeah. Who, was it Bill Clay, he said his name was? Yeah. And he put on an American accent.
Yeah, but is that because it's not good, but, you know, even as a character, he might not do a good American accent, do you know what I mean?
True.
You know, if
I suppose, as well, John McClane didn't buy it from the beginning.
Yeah,
That was kind of the point. But that was when he was using the American accent, I kind of thought, it's not really working, is it?
No, but it was funny to see him change as a character from being like this cool, calm, and collected to like in total acting fear.
Yeah, definitely.
Although he probably was a bit scared because he might shoot him, but like to try and convince John that he was a hostage and got away. And it was
as a plot point, I think it was good. It was good.
I just thought it was the only part that was like they were discussing, and it was just next to a list of names, and it was like making it really obvious. Like he was like, but what's your name? And then he's like, it's Bill Clay, and like cut to the list of names, like Clay. Oh, so it is him. And it's like, what? Like, why would they just have names in like this shaft alley place, like near the roof? I don't understand why everyone's name would be there.
I thought it was like a floor plan of the building. I thought each floor had like a name.
Yeah, I don't know
who it was. I don't know.
They looked like they were still near the roof, but then like it kind of cut to them in like an office bit, didn't it? As well.
Yeah, were they just walking through? Maybe. I can't remember what happened.
We've literally just watched it.
We have.
I can't remember.
We've literally watched this less than an hour ago.
Yeah.
80s hairstyles.
Yes, I think the guys' hairstyles were very nice. I quite liked the long hair look.
There was some lusciously
long haired looks. The guys had more modern female haircuts than the women did, because all the like the women either had like really permed hair, or there was that like one woman that came in and she looked like she'd just been dragged through a bush backwards.
Yep.
The hair was just like it looked like Edward Scissorhands.
It looked like it was trying to escape from her head. Like...
Yeah, like she'd been electrocuted before she came in. Yeah, we caught out on that a couple of times.
Yeah, was she the one that was meant to be pregnant? Because they said there was a pregnant woman, and then we never
see her again.
So I didn't really understand the purpose of that.
I don't think it was. Was she not the one that came in like right at the beginning of the film?
Yeah, but we only saw like her like neck up.
Yeah, true.
And then I thought it cut back because there was this whole scene where what was her name? John McClane's wife in this.
John McClane's wife.
John McClane. So John McClane's wife.
Holly.
Is it Holly?
Holly, yeah.
She went to kind of barter with Hans Gruber, Alan Rickman's character, that there was a pregnant woman who needed a sofa. Yeah. And then we didn't really see it.
No. Yeah, and then there was like going for peas and stuff like that. That's what they asked, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I preferred the other negotiation.
Oh my God, with Ellis.
Ellis, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Ellis.
Ellis is a knob.
Yeah, he's your standard douchebag that everyone knows an Ellis in their life.
Yeah. And it basically, like, the first time you see him, he's hitting on John McClane's wife.
Yeah.
And then the second time you see him, he's just done a bunch of cocaine on the table.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's just like wiping the powder away and just like, just sniffing the whole time.
And then we hear him give the speech about the Rolex watch that had he given it to her?
I think so.
Yeah. Is that why he was so proud of the fact it was a Rolex?
I think it kind of came from the company, but he might have been probably pushing for it.
Yeah.
And he was probably the kind of person that cared about it.
Far too pleased with himself.
Yeah. And John was like, I'll see you later. It's only a watch.
And then we see him doing the line of coke again.
Yeah, he's like a sniff
and then he
during
goes
this
to
hostage
negotiate.
situation. Yeah. And he goes to negotiate and he acts like a proper knob and gets shot for it.
Yep.
Good riddance.
Good riddance, Alice.
Yeah, it just makes John look like an idiot.
Yeah, I thought Bruce Willis in this, I've seen him so much recently as an older, bald man.
Yeah.
Now seeing him with hair, it just looked like he had a wig stuck on his head because I wasn't used to it.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was his own hair. I wonder if he was balding and they kind of like fluffed him up a bit.
It could have been. I think I was just far too used to him as a bald man now. But
Yeah.
I thought he came across as a bit of a dick in this film at the beginning, when you're kind of like introducing to him as a character.
Yeah.
He came off as a bit of a knob.
Obnoxious a little bit, yeah. When he's like driving in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be like a likable douchebag, I think.
Too cool for school.
Yeah, but he was upset about his wife and his kids.
He
and
was.
stuff like that. Yeah.
What did you think of him? I've just realised we've not actually spoken about him.
As in the acting or as in the character?
Both.
I thought the acting was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Bruce Willis played a good action dude that wasn't like too professional. It was weird when he started off and he first met the first henchman and he held like the gun up to him.
Yeah. Yes.
And then he was like, and then he like dropped the gun and wrestled with him and killed him with his bare hands instead of just shooting him. Like, and I was like, I guess maybe he didn't want to kill him, but then did anyway.
My thinking was maybe he's trying to not make noise.
Okay.
But they made so much noise in the fist fight that it would have been quieter to just shoot him.
Yeah, because the guy literally just shot his gun, his like machine gun, like 15 million times.
There was a lot of just shooting guns aimlessly in this film.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of machine guns kind of firing up into the air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to say they were very, very trigger happy unless it was a point in the film where John McClane...
You really... Do you want some chips?
Yeah, I do. I'm actually gonna... Mr. Chipman. When Mr. Chipman comes out, and then everyone's kind of just looking at each other.
Yeah.
Like, no one's very trigger happy when it matters. Yeah, when it actually matters.
Yeah. I thought there was that moment where Mr. Chipman was trying to shoot a door lock.
Oh, yeah.
But he emptied like 50 shots from a machine gun and the last one connected.
Yeah. And it was like, what happens if he doesn't make that? Like, if he didn't blow it open?
Because then he kind of barrel rolls into the door, which doesn't open.
Yeah.
The other thing was, I said this at the beginning, this was definitely from the same era as the Rocky films. They looked really similar. And the thing that was a through line was 80s films, did everyone scream a lot? In the same way. I mean, female screaming specifically.
Yeah.
It's like they've got the same audio sample in all of them, and every time there's a scream, you just hear like the ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it's not like was the Wilhelm screen.
Yeah, it's basically that though.
Yeah, but for the female
a little bit lower.
Yeah, very, very typical. It had like the color scheme was very like orangey and muted for like the whole film was kind of like that, which is very similar to like the Rocky films. I think look a bit like that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
Not in the more recent ones, but definitely the original ones has that kind of like I don't know, sun-washed look to them.
Yeah, you could definitely see it because I thought this was older than it is. It was 88, I think. So we're almost into the 90s now, but it looked older.
Yeah. Maybe that's just because Bruce Willis had hair.
Yeah, maybe. It just makes it feel ancient.
Do you think this is like the only film he had hair in and he's just like, I'm going to be bald after that?
I wonder when he went bald. Wait, I was going to say maybe we should watch the rest of the franchise, but let's take a break for a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to say please no.
Just done one. Have you, because you've not watched the first one, have you watched any of the other Die Hards?
I've watched Die Hard 5.0.
5. Yeah, the names got ridiculous. Was one of them called Die Even Harder?
I think that's a porno you've been watching.
Hang on, I'm sure...
You're going to have to Google this because I want to know. And if it is a porno, I'm going to be very impressed.
If it is, that's getting cut out of...
I'll link it in the show notes.
Right, there's Die Hard. Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. Live Free or Die Hard.
That one sounds like a porno.
And A Good Day to Die Hard.
Okay, and then Die Hard 5.0.
Yeah, that's not on the list for some reason. Oh, I think it is. It's a tagline on this description here. Die Hard 2: Die Harder.
Oh, okay, right.
I think that's where I've got it from.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Great names.
Yeah, they are some
great
good names.
I can't remember them, but
the thing with these kind of situations is he's kind of like fallen into this situation.
Yeah.
Like how many times can you fall into a situation like this? It's like Taken, when it's like when your kid or your family keeps getting taken.
something's
Stop
wrong
it.
there.
Stop it.
I really like that first Taken.
Yeah.
It worked great on its own, and I
Yes.
feel like this is similar, that it works great on its own.
Yeah, the premise anyway.
So just stop.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
the Taken 2 and Taken 3, that are just too far.
Have you seen that clip from Taken 3 where it's Liam Neeson jumping over a fence?
Oh, I have watched Taken 3. I think did I leave the cinema? I might have left the cinema during that.
I want you to search Liam Neeson jumping over a fence.
Oh god, okay.
And this will be in the show notes, and I want you guys to watch it as well because this is ridiculous. All right, how long is that clip?
It's 6 seconds.
Okay, how many cuts are there in that?
At least 72.
Yeah, so many. And it's literally him just jumping over. It's just an old man jumping over a fence.
Oh, they tried hard to save that.
Yeah. I feel bad for the editor there.
Why? Right. Why not just get a stuntman in?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, that looked like, maybe if that was a stuntman, that's even worse. But that just looked like an aging Liam Neeson. I do like Liam Neeson.
Yes.
But he couldn't jump over that fence.
No. They might as well have just cut it out. I don't know why. I mean, they tried to cut it out. They put 16 cuts in it or something.
Or just maybe remove the fence and just show him. He jumped over a car on the way to the fence.
Yeah.
Was that enough, maybe?
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
But yeah, going back to that premise of how many situations can you fall into.
Yeah.
I feel like this film was a really good premise because he was just a normal American cop who fell into this situation, like you said. There's talk, I don't know whether it's still happening, but I know that there was a prequel series going to be made that was supposed to be showing him being a police officer in New York prior to this film. But the reason this one worked is he hadn't really had any experience in a situation like this before. No. He's just a cop.
Yeah, he's kind of just like the everyman, isn't he, really? You could kind of... Yeah. You can almost put yourself in his shoes. Like, okay, yeah, he's a cop, but like...
Yeah, so I'm sure he's got more training than a normal person, but the thing is, he's not this highly trained superhero of a character. No. So...
You kind of like to imagine that you could be him. I think that's kind of the idea.
So, don't make more films.
No.
There's so many, like, some prequels work, some don't, but I think there's too many prequels being made now.
Yeah, is that the issue with some films? Is there have an issue with their own success? Do you know what I mean? That films that don't need a sequel get one anyway because they make money.
I think not everything has to be a franchise. If you're onto a good thing, I think some work and just some should just be left as are. I think this is one of those.
Yeah. Although I can't really comment because I've not watched Die Hard 2, 3, 4.
I don't know why I'm assuming they're bad. They're probably not.
I bet they're all right action films. It's just like you have to probably let yourself fall into the premise.
Yeah.
Because I imagine it's not just him as a beat cop being like arresting people.
Falling into another situation.
Yeah.
No, I more meant that just in general with films now. Yeah. Like, have you seen Kingsman?
I saw the first one, yeah.
Yeah. Again, I think that one worked great on its own, and the second one really flopped, didn't it?
Yeah.
And there's talk now of a prequel to that and a sequel to the last one as well. That didn't even feel like it needed to be a franchise.
Yeah, I bet it flopped, but I bet it still made money.
Do you know what I mean? It did. It didn't make much. That one didn't.
Did it not?
No.
The second one. Mm-mm. No, I heard like mixed reviews. I heard some people say that it was great.
Yeah.
And they found it like quite funny, and then I heard people really bash it.
Slating it.
Yeah. I think it was like it depends on the expectation you have when you go into it. For example, have you seen Anchorman?
I've seen the first one, not the second one.
Yeah, the first one's like quite funny, quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
The second one tries to build on that, and it's just not. It's just not good. Yeah.
No.
So I think there's an issue with sequels within
definitely.
Hollywood at the moment.
Definitely.
That's why I'm not going to watch Avengers 4.
Well, I think that they are one of the best franchises for... It's the only franchise that hasn't really dropped the ball hard along the way of this massive world building.
Yeah, the thing is, because it comes from something that's already series, so you got your comics and stuff like that. But
there's so many that have failed.
Yeah.
Like DC, the direct competition.
Yeah,
with almost the same template of just...
Yeah, I guess you with those kind of films, you always have a situation or scenario that you can work your way into. It's not going to fail on that first building block, is it?
Yeah.
You know, where you got Taken 2, where Taken again... Oh no, my other child, or whatever it is.
What happens in the third one? Because I know the first one, his daughter gets taken. The second one, his daughter and his wife get taken.
Yeah, I think so.
And then the third one,
his dog gets taken. It's actually John Wick.
Oh god.
John Wick 2 though. That's a good film.
Is it good? I've not actually watched them.
Yeah.
I've not watched them.
John Wick's really good.
Because is the premise for the first John Wick, his dog gets killed?
Yeah, but
and he hunts after everyone who killed the dog?
Basically.
Yeah.
But he's like a super assassin.
Yeah.
Like that was his job beforehand.
Yeah.
And then he's like retired, and someone came and stole his car and killed his dog in the instance.
Right.
And then like when it was like a mafia guy, and then when they got back, they were like, "Where did you get that car from?" Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Oh, just some dude." He's like, "That's John Wick's car." And then they just like shit themselves, and like that's like you feel the weight of who John Wick is through everybody else's reaction to him, and it's like, oh yeah, he's a cool dude.
Right.
I really like it.
I love that. That's the premise of a whole film. Though. That's great.
Yeah.
Not the fact that the dog died. That's very sad.
That is sad.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed that every bad guy in this film got what was coming to them by the end of it. Everyone from like the news reporter who gets punched in the face because he finds out who he is, goes to his house and finds his kids.
So the news reporter finds out who John McClane is.
Yeah.
Why can I not get that name right?
I'm gonna have to do a supercut of this episode of every time you mess up
McCain oven chips.
Pushing hard for that sponsorship.
Yeah, I know. Really want it. Yeah, they go to his house and like film his kids. It's like gets really personal, and then that's how his wife gets found, and then his wife just socks him in the mouth.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's like I feel like that doesn't happen as much in modern films now. That every little character along the way, it felt like it got tied up in a neat little bow.
Yeah,
at the end.
It's like the FBI turn up; they're all knobs, and then they die in explosion.
They get blown up.
I know, yeah. The only other one is that doesn't really get his comeuppance is the lead police officer. That when you turn up and he's just like a knob and doesn't believe anything.
That's true. We don't really see it with him.
Yeah. Apart from that, he's like control gets taken over by the FBI.
Yeah.
And then he has that one line at the end that's quite funny, and he just goes, "Well, guess we need more FBI guys." Yeah. Like, geez, your comrades have just died.
So much disregard.
And he's just like, "Nah, I guess we need some more men in suits."
I liked as well that we got Al. He got a nice little arc.
Yeah.
We see him buying like 20 Twinkie bars in a shop at the beginning and find out that he accidentally shot a kid. So he kind of restricted himself to desk duties and didn't want to hold a gun anymore. And then he shoots Carl, the guy who never dies, at the end.
The Terminator.
And we see that he can shoot a gun again.
Yes.
And he saves the day.
He kind of looks quite surprised.
For the second time.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I liked Al.
Yeah.
Did you think there was anything that really didn't work about this film?
No, I don't think so. There's nothing that kind of stuck out as a sore thumb. Apart from the only thing was like the poor fighting. I thought the fight scenes could have definitely filmed better now.
But again, it's not an excuse, but it's definitely a product of its time.
Yeah.
That no films in that era kind of had worked out how to do that. Yeah.
It's quite a long film, but it didn't feel long.
No, it didn't feel too long.
Whereas like Rocky 1 felt like a longer film.
Yeah.
Because like you said, a lot of scenes just felt like they kept going and going. I'm like, when's this going to cut? When's this going to cut? And it didn't.
Yeah.
Whereas this, like every scene seemed to really have a purpose.
Yeah, definitely.
And I quite like there were some scenes, you know, the first scene where they're talking in the toilet.
Yeah.
And there's like the couple kind of walk in, like they were going to be like, they're basically like, oh, this is a private toilet. And then these two couple walks in like they're going to be shagging.
Yeah.
There was a high number of boobies in
There
this
was
film.
a very high number of movies in this film.
Yeah.
We see there's a calendar on like one of the work shaft walls with boobs. Mm-hmm. And we see that calendar, maybe 5 times? It just keeps cutting back past it.
Yeah. And then like right at the beginning of the film, that couple that we're going into when the terrorists came in, they kind of grabbed her out and she's just half naked.
Yeah, that was a bit jarring.
Yeah, I bet that I was saying we could do a drinking game with, you know, every time you see some boobs, take a drink. Yeah.
So what would you gave it 4 out of 5 bars.
Yeah. What
would make this a 5-bar film?
Better fighting.
Better fighting.
It's hard to say.
Hard to say.
Why? What would you say?
I don't know. I probably would say better fighting. The pacing was maybe just a little slow in places, but I think it's good from its flaws as well. Like the amount of cheesy one-liners makes it ridiculous, but the reason this is good is because it's ridiculous, I think.
The amount of times that we just like laughed at like a ridiculous punch or something that was just like I don't know if it was supposed to be serious or it was taken to the extreme and was funny. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I was laughing at it or if I was laughing with it. Yeah.
Like I found this really amusing. There's a point where like this highly specialized SWAT team are like going into the building, and I don't know why it was included in. One of them pricks his finger on a rose bush and says "ow."
Yeah.
But the camera, like, that's all it's focusing on.
Yeah.
It's not like a little background thing that they accidentally had. It just focuses on a guy cutting his finger on a rose bush.
Yeah, I imagine like they're writing the script and like, we need to show these guys going towards the building. How can I do that? And it's like, maybe if I show a guy getting his hand cut on a rose. Yeah, that really works. Oh, I love that. And that goes through all the higher ups. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. And then it cuts to the other side, and one of the bad guys is waiting for the SWAT team to come in. And he's kind of next to a chocolate bar counter and just starts eating chocolate. It's just stuff like that that's hilarious.
A bit silly, yeah.
It shouldn't work, but it makes the film better for it.
Yeah. That's probably why the film was like 2 hours and 12 minutes long or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Was it 20 minutes? 2 hours 20 or something like that? Something crazy.
No, I think it was like, it was 2 hours, at least 2 hours. I think it was more, I think it was less than 2:10.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's like stuff that adds to being quite a long film.
Yeah, both of us definitely groaned when we saw the running time, but then it didn't feel that
No,
long,
it
I
hasn't.
think,
It did
once
not
we
feel
started.
that long.
So, last week we had Rocky. This week we've got Die Hard.
Yes.
Which is the better Christmas film so far?
Let's Which
pick.
is the better film?
What was your number one of the Rocky franchise? Rocky 3.
Mine was Rocky 3, yeah.
Was this better than Rocky 3 or not as good as Rocky 3?
Ooh, good question.
Because then at the end of this Christmas month, we can name the best Christmas film definitively of all time.
Definitively, yeah.
And Rocky 3 definitely needs to be in that ranking.
Well, Rocky 4 is the real Christmas film, isn't it?
Okay.
Out of that franchise.
Well, I'd say of the original Rocky films, that's my favourite. So shall we put that forward as the Christmas contender?
I think this is a better film than Rocky 4.
Do you though?
Yeah. Do you not? Do we just disagree on
I'm
everything?
really on the fence here.
I'm not by a lot. Like, I enjoyed the Rocky 3 and 4 as much as this because it was like a little bit ridiculous like this was.
Okay, the two things. Okay, let's say Die Hard, I think, is the better Christmas film because this is actually a Christmas film.
Yeah, it's like if we're going to measuring it on whether it's a Christmas film or not, then yes, this is actually better as a Christmas film.
Okay. So
but
our current Christmas ranking is Die Hard number 1,
Yeah.
Rocky 4 number 2.
Yes.
Cool.
Out of the two films that we've watched.
Out of the two films. Well, shall we didn't do this last week. Shall we say what the next film is so people can try and watch it before we talk about it?
Sure. Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing next week?
I think we're going to do Home Alone.
We're doing Home Alone.
Yeah. Should we do one and two?
One and
Two.
two?
Two as well. I think two as well.
Okay, let's do
one and two. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to watch along at home, we're going to be watching Home Alone.
Do that.
So you can watch it at home, alone. Watching Home
Twice.
Alone.
And then we need to decide on our final.
Yeah, so if you've got any ideas for us, our final Christmassy film, like the most Christmassy film you can think of, we've had a couple of ideas, but if you've got any good ones, otherwise we'll just do what we want.
Personally, I don't think anything can top Die Hard, really.
Yeah.
Especially on Christmas levels.
Okay. Okay.
Right, have you got any more burning opinions on John the Chipman?
John the Chipman McClane. Is he a wrestler?
You said it right that time.
Yeah, I know. No, I've not really got much more to say about that.
No, I think I enjoyed that a lot. It's so stupid.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you for listening. You can find us on all the usual places: Facebook, Twitter, and now Instagram. When I decide to post something, they're all at Two Sheep in a Pool. If you want to email in, we're bar@twosheepinapool.com.
We're on Spotify? Have we said Spotify?
Yes,
yet?
Spotify.
Now.
Find us on your app of choice for podcasts. Obviously, if you listen to this, you already do.
Yep. But tell all your friends as well.
Tell your friends. Yeah, if you're enjoying it, leave a review on iTunes and tell your friends about us. That'd be great. I've been James.
I've been Ben.
Thanks.
See you next week. I'm gonna have to do a supercut of this episode of every time you mess up his name. Tell us the story, James.
John McClane, sorry.
Is McCain's the chips?
That's McCoy's.
No, McCoy's are crisps. I'm sure McCain's are chips. Hang on, I'm going to Google this.
Yeah, I think you're right. I thought you were just wrong about the crisps.
I can confirm that McCain's make chips.
Sponsor us. Unless it was a point in the film where John McClane...
You really... Do you want some chips?
Yeah, I do. I'm actually... Mr. Chipman. When Mr. Chipman comes out... So the news reporter finds out who John McClane is. Why can I not get that name right? McCain oven chips.
Pushing hard for that sponsorship.
Yeah, I know. Really want it.
Right, have you got any more burning opinions on John the Chipman McClane?
John the Chipman McClane. Is he a wrestler?
You said it right that time.
Yeah.